Everything's just going. You
Awesome.
guys just keep talking. That's
Okay.
great.
So, Jeremy, welcome.
Yeah, so my name's Scotty and this is Jeremy, and we led the Geodesic Dome building workshop here today. And this is Artemis. And Artemis is the purveyor of this fine land and the person who welcomed us in here. And so we have built a wheelchair accessible geodesic dome. And Jeremy's our professional, helping us with a lot of the more technical things. And
we're going to end up having a structure that'll be a growing space, a seed starting space, kind of multifunction. So we'll have some gardens in there and also some space to relax.
yeah.
The theme is returning and remembering.
Yeah.
Going back to the ancient ways, but also acknowledging and paying tribute to those who lived here before us, who knew how to grow their own food and build their own shelter and thrive outside our current economic system, and did it well.
Buckminster Fuller had this vision to build a structure that was stronger than any other structure. That's the vision of a new kind of structure that's cheaper, more efficient, and also has other things going on.
The hope is that we're leaving a positive trace and we're impacting the land in a way where Artemis doesn't have to maintain it. And that's what is permaculture, and that's what's behind Permatours, is this idea that we can go somewhere, use our hands, our knowledge, our skill sharing to leave something that can thrive just in nature, because nature can take care of itself, right?
So I think the first big thing that we did, found a good location that was fairly level to start with, and then Scotty and I kind of laid out what our center point was going to be based on what was around it, and then really took some time to level the land. Figured that our dome space is about 16-foot diameter, so we laid out that and then cleared all the ground and the grass around it.
Transplanting the asparagus.
Yep, we had to move some existing transplants. So, you know, I think that's part of picking your location. If you have trees in the way or other brush that has to be cleared and things like that, we did a little bit of trimming of the grass.
Yeah, we're here building a dome, but also we're coming together as a community to eat food, and later tonight we're gonna dance and sing and celebrate. So I like that it's more than just building a dome. It's a community coming together, and we get a thing done, and we learn a lot. And that's what most of these events, we try to have that vibe, and we succeed, and it's so much fun.
Here's a friend.
Oh, this is our mascot. This is albondigas, which means meatball in Spanish.
Hello. Hello. Yeah.
And so, yeah, the only problem is that when he does sit down on a fresh pile of compost, he actually blends in.
And then after we had a good level foundation to start with, we really started building the dome from the bottom ring, and then, assembling each ring as we went up. I think that's important to really, it might only seem like it's a couple inches difference side to side, and maybe it's not a big deal, but if you can really make a ring around the whole perimeter where that first course is going to sit, that's the foundation, and that really sets you up for success going up, because you're really just going to be fighting it all the way up.
A lot of the projects on Permatours, we really try to use salvage material, an old barn or something. So to use something that's a kit, that's just everything comes labeled, it just makes it so easy to have a ton of people swarm on it and just get it done in a day. It's so cool.
And it's also the spirit of Artemis's place here, is work with what you got.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Whatever's
love that.
recycled, let's use it, let's make it happen. Even if it's rotting wood, let's try to make it useful.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I feel like in a lot of ways, what it ended up being was very similar to setting up a footing for a patio. So this, we wanted to be level.
And I think we're thinking of, him most importantly with something that's ADA compliant, thinking of the grade, how we're getting in and out of the doors, making sure that we have, a ramp or something that's a smooth transition coming in. Once we had that all set, it's really a matter of tightening everything down.
Yeah, and the strength of the geodesic dome comes from the synthesis of two shapes that are really strong.
Yes.
The triangle, which all of the panels are made of triangles, and then the arch, which is also a very strong, very structural, sound distribution of weight.
The more triangles that you have that are connected, the stronger the structure.
The dome shape is pretty amazing. It's supposed to be extremely structurally sound. You can see people climbing all over it, no problem.
People are climbing on it, as you can see, if you can see.
You could not climb all over the greenhouse that I bought on Amazon. You know, it's a 20 by 12, and if you tried climbing on it, it would collapse in seconds.
And it's because it is a natural shape that we find in nature. So Buckminster Fuller was definitely feeling that oneness.
Like a sacred geometry kind of aspect of it.
And I asked you earlier, Jeremy, if you've ever had 18 hands on deck available.
I have not. I have not, and doing
Not
something like
18.
this, you need them.
18 times 2.
You know, so that's something that happens a lot on Permatour, I think, is like just kind of like working with who shows up and all that. And like we're really lucky today that we're like over here and there are these people who are climbing on the dome, continuing to install the panels. Yeah. Delegate good times, come on. Delegate.
But also, like, we're
Have a good
multi-generational
time.
here. We're
Really cool to see the multi-generational side of it. Like, I feel like that, like, you know, from like the sustainability point of view, like if it's just a bunch of 30-somethings in the woods forever, like that isn't sustainable. So having the multi-generational aspect is really encouraging.
Yeah, I would say like something for me that was really great was the merging of worlds of like a professional contractor like coming and like working with a bunch of volunteers and working with us all to level us up in a way, and like we all learn from each other.
Yeah, so I was working on a project last week where I was creating a level foundation for this kit home, and we did a completely different technique than here. And the technique that we used here, I think, is something I'll be able to like carry forward to other projects, which is really exciting. The leveling last time used a lot of fancy equipment. Here we just did it with like some bubbles in a tube and some string, you know, and we got it done.
Yeah, so it was really nice working together and to like, yeah, see the worlds of like contractor, volunteerism, and environmentalism.
What's happening here today, I mean, I learned some chess strategy
Yeah,
on the
learning.
patio, and
Learning new things is really important, and also, like, as I said before, allowing people to like go into their own flow and their own spaces that feel good to them, so that other people can kind of go into spaces whether they want to learn something new or they gravitate to something that feels comfortable to them. It's been amazing. So.
That I'm not alone in that vision. I feel like there's a real community that's making this happen on a level that is a dream come true. Understanding that we are nature, that it's not like nature's there and we're separate, that we breathe air, we are part of this earth, and we have lost our way in terms of understanding that. And here's a chance to build something that will flourish in an ecological, environmental, food production way, and we have a long way to go.
This place is a portal for connecting to what we're capable of.
And then the vision here is to make this into a solar village, to get us off carbon.
Yeah.
And then what we're doing now is putting on the skin on the outside and doing the waterproofing, or the plexiglass sheet, and also taping on the seams.
It's going to be a space that can be used many different ways and probably will change over time.
We want this place to be self-sustaining, right?
Yep.
To capture the rainwater, to have a
Right.
composting toilet, to have food, so that it can operate independent of the primary house.
So I think a year from now we should come back and see what we've produced. Regardless of what resources they have, if they don't have people with hearts that want to do good things, it's not going to happen.
Well, and I have to say, like, because we have so much passion and heart, like these buildings carry that too.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. All that love and investments is in the space now.
Yeah, now landowners are reaching out to us, getting a lot more people out here too. I mean, the volunteers are just signing up because they're like, wow, you know, that's amazing what you're able to do in a day. And
It only means so much if only the people who are interested show up. It means a lot to document it and spread it and share it with the world in a way that they can see it accessibly from home. You know, when they're like, oh, I can't spend a weekend out in the middle of nowhere in some place in Vermont or whatever, but it's like, oh, but I can check out the YouTube video or whatever real quick and learn a lot from it. So
We planted seeds, we watered them, and now we're activating them. So. Cool.
Cool.